Let's get a Wednesday started. We don't have any sizzly type things like Verlander signing right at the start of a show, but I have a couple tricks up my sleeve before we settle in for the game of the century, Italy and Sweden. Rico, I can offer you the alternate puck line, plus 4.5 goals for plus 125. Any interest?
I'm almost tempted. Let's just do it.
Starts at 310. I want to bring something up, and it's kind of a Festivus airing of the grievances. I have a presentation to offer Rico and you, the people of our fair city, and it has a little bit to do with the NBA. No, we'll get to beef stew and suspensions, and I don't care. As I just got done telling Brendan Strabath, 7 games, 10 games, I don't care. And then I bring up, well, look, beef stew won't be here to help you, and it's like, you don't have to explain it away. If you want to be a boner super fan, do it. You want to say that beef stew's not hurting you? Do it. I don't care. Then I'll just argue what's his value in the first place, other than being Tommy Tough Guy. You can't have it both ways, kids. So we'll get to that crap later. I want to offer you something that has really bothered me, and because we've had big local news, I haven't been able to talk about this.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a list of things that are all trash, and that all signify a sport doing everything for the almighty dollar with no consideration to their fans. And I do think fans stop caring. And I think it's a microcosm of any sport not named football. But what's football doing? Some of the same stuff. I want to bring up the NBA for a minute.
Okay.
So are you familiar with what the Jazz have been doing?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. They're playing their starters for 3 quarters. And no matter what, they could be up by 9. They're pulling Lauri Markkanen. They're pulling Jaren Jackson Jr. They're basically waving the white flag openly in the fourth quarter of games to outright lose, while still playing starters the first 3 quarters.
So they can get their stats, get their money. Yeah.
And they can protect their pick. Okay, well, once again, who loses in that equation? The fan. You see what the Lakers did last night? Wembanyama's in town. Okay? San Antonio's a little bit of a traveling circus because Wembanyama is the one of the biggest draws in the league. He's unique. I think there's no player maybe better to watch live than a guy like Wembanyama. To see a man of that scale move the way he
Where's he
does.
at now? Like 7'6"?
8'4". But the Lakers rested their starting 5. Just didn't play them. So if you plan to see Wembanyama, too bad. Localize it for a second. Pistons are going to play the Knicks, 3 times? The first 2, the Knicks are shorthanded. Guess what's going to happen the next time? You're shorthanded. How about both against the Nuggets? Nuggets didn't have their starting 5. They had basically a starting 2.5. Jokic was on a minutes restriction the second time. No Cam Johnson, no Aaron Gordon. It's a joke.
I see where you're going with this.
Okay? The season itself is endless and seemingly 12 games too long minimum. You have load management all over the league. And look, I got to be honest, the last 3 months of the season, January, February, and March, Rico, I would offer you 33% of the league at minimum isn't trying anymore. Open, brazen, not trying. So you wrap it all up together, and to me, I think the NBA under Adam Silver has basically told people, you're now a college basketball fan, meaning March Madness guy. I don't care about the regular season. Wake me up in March. Regular season in the NBA, it's unwatchable. It's garbage. You know, we joke the Pistons are good because they try, and most teams they play don't. But think about all the decisions the NBA has made. Bill Simmons made a good point. You could think Bill Simmons is an idiot. You could think he's a genius. You could not think of him at all. If they shorten the season to, say, 70 games, Rico, okay, so Devin Booker, instead of making $76 million, makes 70. What are we even talking about? The average NBA starter is making well into the $22, $23 million a year figure. AAV average. Meaning a guy you don't think of is making $20-something million. And I thought about this. We talk about it. Goodell going global, way beyond Bad Bunny. We're talking about NFL Europe. We're talking about every team is going to be over. Every team. Goodell's plan is to have a European game every week of the season.
Yeah.
We've talked about possibly a team in Europe. We've talked about the Super Bowl jumping the shark. That might go overseas at some point. And now you have what? 4, 5, 7, 10 different streaming providers to watch games, whether it's the NFL, the NBA. MLB's about to not have a season next year. Why? Money.
Yeah.
And the NHL is just poverty. Okay? Yeah. By the way, you're in the height of your season. Things are going great. We're going to take 3 weeks off for the Olympics.
One of the only games in town.
You morons. So I wanted to ask the question. And look, the NBA, I could yell and scream about it. There's just no point. But are all of these factors affecting your care factor? I mean, think about it. How could you invest in the NBA? Even if you're a Pistons fan. Do you know what I hear on our station all the time? I heard Gators say it today. That's one of the most infinitely positive human beings on the planet. Just wake me up for the playoffs. I'm like, sweet.
You said it. And well, great presentation.
Yes.
No. But care factor. The problem is, and I think a lot of people are reaching where you are, where wake me up when you start caring. Fans will always care until you make them stop caring. Fans care when they see you go out there. When they see what the Pistons every night will put a starting lineup out there. And then if you're not playing, you know that the person is legitimately sick or injured. Whereas the other teams, we know what load management is because they had to give it a name other than tanking. So it sounds more PC, load management. The NBA stopped caring. And once they stop caring, you can't make the fan base care about something you don't take pride in. They take pride in the playoffs, so now playoff games get amped up, and now they're fun to watch. But you nailed it, Mike. It's the care factor. When you don't care about your own product, why should I?
There you go.
If we owned a restaurant and we didn't care about it, and people didn't show up, well, what can we say when we outright blast the restaurant all the time? Yeah, sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed. We don't know. Well, I had a big date tonight. Yeah, we just decided to close it. Load management.
Yeah.
And yeah, see us around the holiday. See us around Valentine's Day and we'll be open 24 hours. That's what the NBA has turned into. You can't care about something that they don't care about. You want to, and I think fans do. I think if the NBA actually went back to the way it used to be back, I don't know if you remember this when it was fantastic. Remember that marketing campaign?
NBC, yeah.
They cared about, like, regular season games meant something. That Sunday afternoon game was must-watch TV. They would put their best teams out there. Now, you're right. Okay, it's Wemby versus the Lakers. Wait, that's the Lakers B team. Is that Bronny James out there? Wow, you couldn't even, All right, well, what else is on? And you turn the channel.
Well, the other problem, look, you can laugh. You can say the players make a lot of money. Too many damn players are getting hurt. 82 games, too long of a season. Because now your job any given night, if you care about the NBA, which 90% of people don't, it's just reality, cool. Go find a game that has two teams that actually have their players available to them that are actually both going to try. Go find those games. Like if you're bored, next time you're sitting on the toilet, go chart out some games. Mm-hmm. Find the games that evening where both teams are going to try and both teams have their complement of players.
Right.
It'll be a quick assignment. You're not going to find them.
Because here's the thing, man, and you laugh and you said you're turning into March Madness. At least I can say this about college hoops. It may be lesser basketball, Mike, but at least they go out there and try every night.
They're not fair. I wasn't taking a swipe
at you
about
I know,
Madness.
But it's just like,
but you know NBA, what March Madness has done to that sport.
Yeah.
Only shout out Rieger. Only the hardest of the hardcore are going to watch.
Yeah, dude, that was
regular season college hoops.
You can say it. It was me. We talked about it. It was like that was me last night.
You're a diehard,
right?
I'm not. That's like Kenny is a diehard for the NHL. He'll watch the Utah Mammoth versus the Minnesota Wild. That's Kenny.
Yeah, I was watching both overtime games last night and was glued like, oh my God, this is great.
Look, the NBA is, to me, yes, while I focused on that the most, it's a microcosm of all professional sports right now. Because while these teams want to sit there, chew it and do it and brag about their TV rights deals and how much money they're making, the thing they're forgetting about is all the decisions they make, the only loser in it's the fan. Mm-hmm. None of it's getting better. No football decision that's been made by Roger Goodell regarding expansion, regarding Europe, regarding how this sport is moving is good for the fan. When you look at the NBA, I just gave you a laundry list of problems where, to me, I think you're a psychopath if you're hardcore about the NBA right now. You can't be. And baseball, yeah, things are going so well, there's not going to be a baseball season in 27.
Well, that's the funny thing, Mike, because people should have took a lesson from baseball, because I will still say they never recovered from the strike back in the 90s. Like, it was everything, and then they had to just basically say, go ahead and cheat, hit home runs, do whatever you can to get eyeballs back to watching us.
I have come to that. I've come to the light. Like, as far as the steroid guys go, I don't care anymore. I'm like, you know what? Just put Barry in.
Right.
Him and his bloated head. Put him in. Who cares?
But at that point, because they had ruined the season, and they turn off fans all the time, and I don't think they realize that there's a saturation point for fans where they don't come back. The hardcore will always be there, but the fringe will find something else.
Yeah, I wanted to throw it out there to start. Something a little different. I know it's not. Look, we did 4 hours of JV and Beef Stew yesterday.
Beef Stew got 7 games. 248. No, I'm kidding.
Don't care. Right. See you in 8. I don't know what to tell you. 248-539-9797. We'll get with the people. 97.1.